Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain the career transit process from domain to MNC job, and that too in SAP technology. Let's say if you have 2 3 years experience and maybe right now you are working in accounts payable, account receivable, or let's say in general accounting or in general ledger, and assume that let's say you are working in any domestic company. Currently you are using small applications like Tally, QuickBook, or any other applications right now you are using, and your target is your dream job is to join some MNC. And also, you have completed recently SAP FICO training. In my previous video, I already explained what are the prerequisites to start the SAP consulting career. I hope you have checked that one. If you have not checked, I will suggest you can go through that one. Now let's understand here few points which is going to help us to achieve our goal. My first point will be, as already you have some domain experience, that means already you have your accounting experience, or let's say you have a CA farm experience, anything. So you already have 2 3 years experience. So you are very familiar with the payment process, reconciliation, month end activities, couple of reporting. These are the areas you are already familiar. Now when any companies are going to hire some professionals, so what they are looking that someone should be very good in the business process, which already you have, because you already worked 2 to 3 years in the domain side. And already you have the SAP knowledge because you have completed your SAP training too. Okay, so to justify this one, let's check some job postings. For your reference, I have captured here two profiles. So one is related to management training, and that is in record to report process, nothing but your general ledger accounting. And here experience is 3 to 7 years, job location is Hyderabad. And you can see here the requirement. So become graduate, already you have it because you are from the domain, finance domain. Already you have your prior accounting experience and strong knowledge on asset accounting, intercompany reconciliations, because it's a GL profile, so this type of requirements will be there, right? So posting journal entries, reconciliations, which normally one person is doing the activities in the general ledger accounting, and some more details about that particular profile. And because job description is very very important when you are going to prepare for an interview, always in detail you understand the job description, and accordingly your resume should be there, right? So here the normal activities will be there. And in every profile mostly you will find there is a requirement of, or there should be a knowledge of ERP, and 90% openings you will find on SAP. And good thing that already you have completed your SAP training recently, so it is going to help you. So you should have the knowledge about cost center accounting, COPA, FICO integration, fixed asset, all the reconciliation activities. So these are the requirements will be there. So if you'll see here, what are the key areas you need to focus here? So why I'm saying that domain is very essential, because companies are not going to hire someone who completely freshers even if you have completed the training. So it is not going to work. So that is why domain experience is mandatory. So you can see here the requirements are there. Next one will be the SAP knowledge. So here also it is SAP knowledge is required, and the key areas as per that particular profile. Good communication skill, that 100% it will be there. Then your like it's a R2R process, so R2R function will be there. And technology SAP preferred. The reason here is, although here mentioned as that knowledge of ERP, but specifically they are saying that it is SAP preference. As I said, 90% openings you will find there is a requirement of SAP will be there, right? So let's check the another job profile. So this is the process developer, and it is P2P process. Again here also 2 to 5 years requirement will be there. No one is asking here SAP experience, they are just asking the domain experience and the SAP knowledge. And it is Bangalore location. And if you check here also, you will find that the knowledge of again your ERP knowledge, Oracle or SAP, again preferred will be SAP, as it is P2P process. So that's why knowledge about the procurement and AP activities will be required. And again, if you are going to check here, the domain related activities will be there. So preferably knowledge on SAP and Oracle, but I know that most of the time they will prefer the SAP knowledge. So it's proof that domain experience is 100% is required when you will start your career in SAP. The reason here is, unlike your freshers, whenever the questions will be there related to any particular job profile, you can talk a lot about the business, about the business language. If I will ask that what is the P2P process, you have, like, you can speak on that 10 minutes continuously, because you already work on those areas. You already did, I mean, 2 years already you work on this, 1 year already you work on these areas. So that is why it is highly required. And plus the same business process on SAP too. So when you are practicing, just imagine like what is the business process and accordingly try in the system or practice in the system. For example, let's say interviewer is asking here one question related to a particular accounts payable activities. Now in this case, maybe one fresher will say that we do the accounts payable, or let's say how to post a vendor invoice. Normal fresher, they will say that we will go to AB60 and we will post the transaction, but in reality we never do that. So that's why it is highly required that we should have a complete understanding the process. Like we'll start from purchase requisition, PR will be converted into PO, PO will be converted into GR, GR will be converted into invoice. Then only we are going to get the accounting document. So your answer will be that as we have already completed PO, then we have completed the MIGO, then we have completed the MIRO, then automatically in the FI system we are going to get the integrated documents. This type of answer companies are not going to get from one fresher. So that is why domain experience or the existing experience is highly required. My next point is where to start, which role we need to target. So it's, we understood that we have the domain experience, we have the SAP knowledge. Now which role we need to start. Majorly, if you don't have the professional qualifications like CA and CMA, because in these cases exceptions are there, like some for example chartered accountants or cost accountants qualified CA and CMA, immediately or directly they can start the consulting career because article SIP or industry experience is with them, so they can get that advantage. But normally, like someone is, let's say, BCom, or let's say you have MCom, or normally like let's say average B school, you have completed your MBA. So in this case I will suggest that uh, don't jump directly to the SAP consultant roles, or don't search it, because I know that you will not get that profile. So instead of that, you may start with your career, or you may start with, for example, let's say someone just having 1 year experience, 1 year domain experience. I'm not talking about the SAP experience. So if you have, let's say, 1 year or 1.5 years, in this case I will suggest that you may start your career with a super user or maybe end user. Okay, and that too in MNC. And this salary will definitely the salary currently what you are getting from any domestic firm or domestic company. If you have, let's say, 2 years experience or more, then in that case you may start with uh, maybe power user. And when you are searching your job, you will not get a position like senior user, or let's say super user, or let's say power user. This type of profile you will not get, or you will not get the exact role. So if you search something in the job portal that's in super user, maybe you will not get it, or power user, you will not get it. I will suggest that search with the job like process associate, that is nothing but end user, process analyst, again that is end user, or process developer. The second job which I was showing, that is related to process developer, so that is nothing but a super user role. Management training, that is nothing but a power user role. Financial analyst, process analyst, this type of designations you will get, right? So these are nothing but your user profile only. And sometimes maybe you can start the career with the support role. Let's say you are very good in your configuration, means during training you have completed a couple of capstone projects, and you already well versed with the business process, and you did a lot, I mean, you practice a lot, you are very good in the hands-on, right? So in that case maybe you can and already you have 3 4 years experience on the domain side. So in that case maybe you can start searching the job roles like support consultant. So this will be your associate consultant role, or you can say entry level consulting job. So where you are going to work on the tickets, so mainly you are going to work on P1 P2 tickets. And this one is going to be a entry point for the consulting role. So if you have the relevant experience, but in that case maybe companies are going to prefer if someone already having the SAP user role. So in that case they will prefer. Sometimes exceptions are there, maybe your profile will be considered if you have a good domain experience and you are good in the SAP hands-on point of view. Then once you start your career, then gradually you can move to the implementation side. So once, let's say, you are there in the support role, so you can start looking here the maybe rollout projects, or you will be there in the implementation. And once you have completed, let's say, 2 years in the associate role, then after that we can go for senior consulting role. Or let's say right now you are working with power user role, so after 1 and 2 years maybe you can go for consulting side. Most of the time companies also going to hire internal that means their employees, from their user role to consulting role. So in this case, the salary what right now you are getting, always you will get a hike, like normally 40 to 50% hike you will get, at least 30 to 50% hike you can expect, whatever the current role you have. And if you compare the salary between the domestic company and MNC, so almost you can say 100% hike you may expect. So in this case, I would say that your first SAP job may not be a consulting job, or the title will not be that consulting, but it is your entry ticket for the consulting role. So definitely you must consider this type of profile. I already started a new playlist for SAP FICO learning. So here I will add, or I keep adding the tutorials also, and here I will add the interview preparation for this type of role. When you are preparing your resume, so position your 3 years experience, 4 years experience, whatever your domain experience on finance. You can mention in this way that 3 years finance experience as finance domain plus SAP exposure, because you already completed your training and you practice a lot. So in this case, companies are going to give the special preference to you because you are highlighting here SAP knowledge plus you already have the domain knowledge. So whatever the practice you did, all the configurations, transactions, you need to highlight those things. And you need to also show here some case studies, whatever you have practiced related to P2P, O2C, R2R. So many project if you're going to add, that is also going to help you. So end-to-end process, everyone is looking that someone should going to should be familiar with the end-to-end process. Normally what happened, for example, let's say you may prepare for accounts payable. Let's say there is a requirement from the other side, sourcing side, because P2P is accounts payable is part of P2P, right? So there is a requirement of sourcing side, but you are not familiar with those areas. You are not familiar with the purchase requisition, purchase order, GR. So you are only like you know how to handle the payments. So that time maybe they don't have a requirement related to payment. So if you are familiar with the other areas or the complete process, so maybe that job you can get later, you can move to other process. So or in part of that process, because in one process multiple members will be there. Someone is handling sourcing, someone is handling procurement, or let's say someone is handling payment. So that is why always when you are preparing, whether it is P2P process, O2C process, or R2R, always end to end process you should prepare rather than only just one part. And just keep in mind, don't show anything fake. So don't show fake projects in your resume, otherwise it is going to it will be adverse for you. So don't wait for a perfect job. Like don't wait like I will get a consulting job and start the career. Maybe that will be very difficult at this moment. Okay, so as you don't have the relevant experience, if you have the relevant experience, you are already working on SAP on different role, maybe definitely you should upskill, or you need to think for consulting job. But when you are trying to enter into SAP platform, so no need to wait for a perfect job. Even a support role or analyst role is also going to bridge that gap. Unnecessary in job hunting process, let's say more than 6 months you are just only searching the job and you are not getting, so it is going to again, it will be against for you. So whatever the profile suitable for you and you think it is the right, I will suggest that you can start your career. Definitely it is going to help you in long run. So whatever the exposure right now you are going to get, and that is going to help you. And salary point of, if you think like these are the low profile jobs, our salary will be less, not like that. Definitely you are going to get more salary than your current profile. So in end, I would say that your finance background is not the limitation here. It is the strength. So accept it. So we have to just encast that one in a proper way for the SAP role. So you can start with the small and grow steadily. So definitely it is going to work. If you have any questions, anything, feel free to mail me or add in the comments. See you soon with another topic.